What's going on, folks? Welcome back to another Ranger Talk video. I have a very special one here today for y'all. I'm talking to none other than the mighty Meek of legendary Visions of Atlantis. What's going on, man? Thanks so much for joining me. How are you?
I'm more than pleased to be here, man. Thank you so much. So there is a lot ongoing actually, because I mean we are into the summer festival season here in Europe. So we are like every weekend basically we are somewhere. Last weekend we were in Germany. Next weekend we will be in Germany again, actually, and then in fall in on the 19th of September, if I'm right, the our big tour, our big Armada tour will start. And in the meantime, we are already planning next year. Of course, we will come back to America. Like we
Yes.
are, yeah, we are currently working on it. The dates are not 100% defined, but I know our booking agency has a touring plan that they will try to make happen. So there is quite some stuff, on the works. And at the same time, we freshly released Pirates 2 Armada. It's like barely a month old. So it's yeah, it's there's so much ongoing.
Yeah, I bet busy times, and I'm super excited though that you say that you're planning on supporting the new album over in the in North America. So yes, yes, very
Yeah, it's
excited
it's gonna
about
it's gonna
that.
happen, man. It's gonna happen.
Awesome, can't wait. So I guess my first question is kind of going back in time a little bit. I'm just curious. With Visions of Atlantis, they have a very storied history. And so when it came time for you to join on the male vocal side, what was that like? Were you a bit nervous, like jumping into a band that's been around for quite some time and well known?
So I have to say that when I got the job, at the very beginning, it felt like a job, and I just wanted to be the most professional I could. Like I wanted to prove myself to be ready to take part of a international band, because at the very end of the day, Visions of Atlantis is my first and hopefully last, because I don't plan to change or do anything else. But it's my first international band. Like I used to play with Italians. I'm Italian. I used to play with people from my own country, and it's a completely different dimension, because it's no matter how successful the band is, you know what you're talking about. You share history, you share culture. And when I started with Visions, it was like a French girl, Clemmy, and three Austrians, the other guys. So it was not only, like talking in English with my bandmates. It was like, okay, this is weird, this is not what I'm used to do. And of course, we didn't know each other on the musicianship level, on the professional level. Like, so going on stage, jumping on stage with them was a discovery. Every show was every day there was something new. You see what I mean? So I just wanted to prove that I was the right guy to be in this band, and that I was ready for this experience. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Then the more you get to know each other, the more things develop. And at the beginning, it felt like singing covers. That's also a truth, that I don't want to hide, because it was not songs that I was not there in the studio when the songs were recorded. I was not there when the songs were composed. And I guess this is the same feeling that Clementine had when she joined, and the same feeling that, every other band member except for Thomas had. Thomas is the only one who witnessed the composition of the very early material, and right now of Pirates 2 and everything else.
Yeah.
So it felt like, again, it felt like a job. I needed to sing songs from written by someone else, making them mine. And then, yeah, that's where the story began.
Cool, cool. So in addition to that, when you joined the band, you also had to share vocals with Clementine, and so you kind of had to create that dynamic, that interaction. And I'll say that both of you have a really nice chemistry together. Did that happen right away, or was it something that had to build over time?
No, we had to build it. We had to build it. I remember at the beginning, our voices were like so far away one from the other, but this is normal. This is absolutely nothing weird or it's not a no-go or a red flag. It's just
Right.
that new singer, new dynamics, new colors, new territories to discover in a way in the vocal fields. The human voice has so many shades, so many different aspects that you can take advantage and make use of, and when we found out that both Clemmy and I loved this theatrical approach, this musical approach to music, this is when the actual change happened in Visions of Atlantis. Because at the beginning, again, we were to sing songs that were not written for our voices, not even Clemmy's, only the songs from The Deep and the Dark at the beginning were written for her. And then when I joined in the studio, Wanderers was an already written record. So the vocal lines were not meant to empower and take advantage of my vocal capabilities. Or, like there were so many things that were not meant to be sang by me because they were written for Siegfried, the previous singer.
Yeah.
And I think this is also a reason why it is with Pirates that we started to grow, how to say, exponentially as a
Yeah.
band, because when songs are written for the musicians that are part of the band, of course you can make the best out of it. And this truly happened with Pirates, which is the record that truly make a difference for us.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's perfect. So it kind of goes into my next question, which was Pirates seem like the a new era of Visions of Atlantis, and really kind of resonated with fans, and really felt like something that was special. So what was it like behind the scenes during the recording and writing of Pirates and that kind of new direction?
Well, I think that what I just told is like literally the peculiar thing about Pirates, because in the history of Visions of Atlantis, if you check the timeline on Wikipedia, you will
Yeah.
see that before this lineup, it was barely possible to have two records in a row with the same lineup.
Yeah.
It never happened. I'm not sure. I don't have it in mind. I didn't learn it by heart, of course, but I don't recall two records in a row with the exact same lineup, which is unbelievable if you think of
Right.
it. And then when I joined the band, we found balance, we found peace. It's not, I don't want to take credit for it. I was a missing wheel in a bigger engine. You see what I mean? So it's not like
Yes.
thanks to me things happen, but definitely when I joined, something changed. We found this amazing balance between us, and a family started to form. A family started to take shape, and this reflected in the music in a way.
Mhm.
Wanderers was like after the first live shows at the end of the cycle of The Deep and the Dark. With Wanderers, it was the first experiment of recording with the same members all together. And this is where we understood what was working, what was not working. It's a really in between record between the old era and the new era. But then after 4 years together, the band was a band. Like Visions of Atlantis truly were a band, and now
Yeah.
we are a band. We are one of these bands in which band members like care for each other. It's not only a job, We truly are friends. We truly developed an emotional and sentimental relationship between us. I mean, I don't know if in English it translates the same when it comes to sentimental, but
No.
it's like
Yeah. No.
y-
Truly.
y- it's true friendship. We are a true family, and inevitably this reflects on the music. And Pirates was the very first record that was 100% dealt by this lineup. And Pirates 2 is the second record of this lineup. So in a way, we are a fresh band. We feel really young, even if there is 20 years of history
Yeah.
in this band. Mm.
Yeah, that's cool. I agree with you. It definitely marked a kind of a new shift in the band. And like you said, starting with Pirates, it almost did feel like just a new band on the scene, regardless
Mm.
of the history. So when Pirates dropped, y'all really kind of doubled down on the pirate aesthetic. What was it like, kind of finding your inner pirate?
Well, that's a good question actually, but this is what we're trying to do right now, not only within us, within ourselves, but also towards the fans, towards those who like to listen to our music and wants to make a little step forward to get to understand what we are and what we are doing, like. So pirates are the metalheads of the seas, if you want to make a laugh, but if you think of it, pirates are the rebel of the seas. Pirates are those who
Yeah,
don't want to live, by the rules of the coming from above, and this is what
yeah,
metal is about, finding your own peace with your own freedom, with your own rules. A metalhead is a rebel in a way, and
yeah.
pirates are rebels. So if you think of it, there is a quite close connection between the figure of a pirate and between a metalhead. And this is the reason why we are pirates dressed in black and not
Right.
with white shirts or, whatever. Yes, we have some color here and there, but we are the black pirates. We have black
Yeah.
sails and everything. So why pirates? Because pirates are free spirits and
Mhm.
we want to be free spirits. And in a way, we truly believe that the world needs storytelling to explore deeper concepts nowadays. When you are a kid, when you are a young kid, your father or your mother, they read you a story when you are, going to bed, going to sleep,
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
with metaphors, with stories, concepts get implanted in your mind in a way deeper level compared to a friend or a father telling you, hey, don't do this because I don't know, don't touch the fire because you get burned. Either
Yeah.
you do it, you touch the fire, you get burned, or with a fancy story about a gang of cats, like finding their way in the forest and then fighting the fire, but one gets burned and he screams. If you put some spice on it, the
Yeah.
concept get impressed in your mind in a better way, in a more
Yeah.
in a longing way,
Yeah.
long lasting way. And this is what we want to do. We want to tell stories that have metaphors before, and we chose the pirate universe because of this connection between the pirates, metalheads, and the entire history of Visions of Atlantis that was always flirting with the ocean, the sea, and everything else. So we try to respect what Visions of Atlantis was before us, bringing in a new concept that could fit not only with the universe created by Visions of Atlantis before us, but also with our purpose and with our view of the metal scene nowadays. So yeah, it's a bit deeper than just putting on some clothes.
I was gonna say, I was like, yeah, that's so much deeper than just like, hey, we just want to be pirates for fun. So that's awesome. And there's no reason why pirates couldn't discover Atlantis. So that fits too.
That's
So
that's for sure. That's for sure. Or like uh, in a sometimes with Clemmy, as a joke, we tell each
yeah.
other, this is the name of our ship. Our ship is called Atlantis.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, I like that. So when you first had to start wearing the pirate's clothes, were you like, I feel a little weird like dressing up like a pirate, or was it like, oh man, no, this feels cool. Like I feel like an awesome pirate.
No, man, funny story. The first time I wore pirate clothes, I was 6 or 7 years old. I'm,
Oh, okay.
I'm. It's funny, but in February, in the Christian countries, and Italy is a Christian countries. I don't want to talk about religion. It's not about belief or not belief,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
here is a thing. Here is a thing. There is this festivity called Carnevale, which translates a bit in carnival, but I don't think I don't think it properly translates. It's a
Okay.
religiously based holiday, but the carnival in Venice. This is pretty famous with all the masks and everyone
Yeah.
and everything, and everyone dresses up. And I always had a connection with pirates. I was a fan of pirate video games, of pirate books, of pirate movies. Hook was one of my favorite Disney
Oh,
movies,
yes.
and I was dressing up as a pirate back then. So it's funny how life cycles in a way, and now I'm
Yes.
back there. So it was not weird for me. It was like somehow
Cool.
playful and somehow empowering. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. So you used to wear pirate clothes for fun because you liked it, and now you get to wear them for your job. So
Exactly. When there are, like this re-evocation or cosplay parties and stuff like
yeah,
this, I always dress up. I dress up as a pirate. It's
that's
it's my
awesome,
thing.
man.
It's my
Who's
thing.
your favorite pirate? Fictional or
Well,
non-fictional?
no, it's Guybrush Threepwood from Monkey Island. He is absolutely
Okay,
my favorite
so you're a
pirate. He was
Monkey
not a
Island
pirate
fan.
100%, like a big, massive Monkey Island fan, and in a way, he's a nice character in my opinion because he was not meant to be a pirate. He clearly didn't have what it takes to become a pirate, but
Yeah,
he made it. And this is a fantastic metaphor. Everyone can make it, if you truly believe life takes you there. Because Guybrush, he didn't, put effort in becoming a pirate. It was events around him that made him become a pirate. And at a certain point, he realized he was bolder, stronger, and fiercer than
yeah.
what he would expect to be. And he was a pirate. He became a pirate.
Awesome. Yeah, it's all about, like you said, kind of like rising to the occasion of your surroundings and the elements around you. You can either fall or you can rise up and become who you really are. So that's awesome. So after all of that, after the success of Pirates and really kind of establishing a new era of Visions of Atlantis, it was like, okay, now we have to do a new record. So what did it feel daunting or scary to try to follow up Pirates with Pirates 2?
It felt challenging, that's for sure. That's another thing I'm not going to hide, because clearly with Pirates, we made a step forward.
Mhm.
And you know that the music business is kind of how do you say it's not something that will give you a second chance. It's not a world that
Right.
gives you a second chance. Like the moment in which if you fuck up, you fuck up. And when you release a record, this record will stay there forever. So the moment in which you put out a bad record, people will get to it in a couple of clicks on Spotify, on YouTube, or whatever. So after having done a record like Pirates, that I mean, we had a feeling it was a better record, but we are the musicians who wrote it. Of course, we believe in what we're doing. You see what I mean? But the
Yeah.
feedback was beyond overwhelming. So we felt the responsibility of having to deliver an even better record, or at least with the same quality. And this
Mhm.
you can't forecast, you can't decide. It's not like you can. I don't have a crystal ball, to forecast the future and know what people will like. So the moment in which we wrote Armada, we were like super super enthusiastic and excited about it. But the question was, will people be? Will our fans be? So at a certain point, you just have to let go. You just have to let go, do your thing. And if it comes from the heart and if you believe in what you're doing, sometimes it's not even the quality of the song, it's the emotion that the song carries. Some songs, they are not good songs, but they have such an emotional level and emotional charge that they become good songs. So I believe that this energy that lies within the songs, that is somehow unpalpable, untouchable. This is what matters the most, and I believe we put everything we had in Pirates 2, and I'm totally happy. And the reaction seems to be fantastic.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, expectations certainly were high, and it's fascinating you bring up a concept that I never really thought about, that when a band puts out a record, like you said, it's there forever. So if it's not a good record, it will always just be this record in a band's history where it's like, that record was not good. Like it
Yeah,
can
it will
always
hunt
be
you. It will
found.
hunt you forever. It
Yeah.
will hunt you forever. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Mm-mm.
So that's fascinating, and scary too for a musician.
It's absolutely. It's super scary, man. It's super scary. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
So was there anything that you y'all, when you were writing Pirates 2, where you're like, okay, in Pirates we did this and that. we want to build upon this, or we would like to change this a little bit? Was there like an evolution, or was it more of like we just want to replicate what we did with Pirates One?
No, so this concept of replication is something I highly avoid. Like this
Hmm.
is something I believe that we did it pretty well because there are just a few songs in Pirates 2 that might recall a tiny bit what's done in Pirates. But for instance, a song like Land of the Free, this is something we never did. The intro is something we never did. Tonight I'm
Mm.
Alive with this, with this
Yes. One of my
vibe, this
favorites. One of my favorites on the album. So cool, so different, and it's such a cool vibe. Yeah, felt very different
yeah.
from Pirates.
And I don't want to sound like I'm showing off, but I believe that that song truly brought something different in symphonic metal in general, because I can't recall any symphonic metal song with that vibe.
Yeah,
This ethnic, percussions, this
yeah,
somehow, how to say, almost coming from North Africa. It's it's
yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's special in a
Or
way.
even almost like a
And
samba or something like that. It just, like you
yeah,
said,
yeah,
it had
yeah,
this
yeah,
this
yeah.
ethnic kind of dance vibe. It was really cool.
And this is something new. There is nothing like this in Pirates 1, as
Yeah,
well as Armada. Yes, maybe the impact could be associated to Legion of the Seas, but we never had the gang vocals, shouting all together. We
right.
never had we never had a song that's from the very beginning to the very end never had a break, because normally Visions of Atlantis have these, dual vocal breaks with the piano, the symphonic metal moment. We
Yes.
cut it out. There is nothing like that in Armada. It's basically a power metal song brought to symphonic metal, and this was not there before. Songs like The Dead of the Sea, of
Mhm.
course, the length can make you think, okay, it goes and flirt with Master the Hurricane, but the truth is that it's a completely different song with completely different vibe, this storytelling at the beginning. So we don't try to replicate what we did. And in general, I always try, when I write a song, I always try to bring it to new territories, because music is so vast. There is so much that you can say. There is so many territories that you can walk on. It's insane if you think of it. So the moment in which we replicate ourselves, probably it will mean that we will lack of new ideas, and I don't want this.
So did you have a large involvement with writing this album, the new album?
Oh, yeah, well, the new album is 100% written by me when it comes to the music. The
Really? Okay.
Yeah, 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 yeah. The lyrics are all by Clemmy, and this is something
Hmm.
that happens since the very beginning of the new era of Visions of Atlantis, because Deep in the Dark, Wanderers, Pirates, Pirates 2, all lyrics are written by Clemmy. Clemmy,
Yeah.
she's the mind behind the entire universe of Visions of Atlantis. Like whatever we create in terms of atmosphere, in terms of whatever we put on in terms of a show, the videos, the stories behind the videos, everything comes from Clementine's mind. She is the one with a vision. She is the one
Yeah.
who sees who we are, where we are sailing to, and
Yeah.
everything. But the music is fully mine. In
Wow.
Pirates, we share duties with Felix, our producer,
Hmm.
because he wrote Melancholy Angel, for instance. I wrote Legion of
Okay.
the Sea, Master the Hurricane, Clocks. I can totally take credit of
Wow.
Clocks,
What a great
um,
one.
Freedom, But the thing is that we saw and we realized that the songs written by us, by us as a band directly, they had a more intense emotional charge. The thing that I was talking about before.
Yeah.
So he was the first one. Felix was the first one to say, I think you should write the entire record Pirates too. And with Clemmy, we locked ourselves in the studio. We arranged stuff together, coming from my ideas, and Pirates 2 is fully written by Visions of Atlantis in a way. It's all done by us, and I think that this is another element that somehow brought some higher quality in the new record, because it's more real. I don't know how else to say this. It's
Yeah.
more real.
Yeah.
It's us. It's our music. It's fully our music, and this is beautiful.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's amazing. Very cool. As far as music videos go, I think the band is also well known at this point for putting on extravagant, like action-packed and just really cool movie quality music videos. What is it like shooting those? Do you feel like you're all like on a movie set, like filming Pirates of the Caribbean when you're acting in those? I remember there was one, I forget the name of the song, but you're like swinging on a rope onto another
Oh,
ship and
Armada, Armada,
yeah,
Armada,
Armada. Yeah, it's
Armada. Yeah,
crazy.
Armada.
What's that like? Do
So
you
I
feel
have
like
to
an
say that
action
it's
hero?
well, I have to say that it's real fun. It's a completely different experience compared to what you're doing on stage, and we definitely have fun over there. I know by personal experience because I've had other bands. Some musicians they just don't like shooting videos. They feel like it's a mandatory, forced task in a way.
Mhm.
We, you know, with the choice of being pirates, of dressing up as pirates, we know that our universe cannot end on the musical level
Mhm.
because we need to bring something bigger to our fans. And this is connected to the metaphors concept that I was telling you about before. Because if you think of it, to trust a universe like ours, you have to touch it in a way. You have to feel more connected with it. Think of a Marvel movie. When you go
Yeah.
to the cinema and you watch a Marvel movie, there is a universe that is created. Otherwise, you would never believe that, I don't know, that the Hulk can become big and green. Why,
Right.
logically and scientifically, would a person that gets pissed off become big and green? There is a reason, there is a universe, like there are all these little details that they study really well that makes you buy what you're looking at. Because you trust it. You believe.
Yeah.
You don't ask yourself, hey, why is this, how is this scientifically possible? You just
Yeah.
believe it
Yeah.
because they put it down really well. They build the universe so well that you don't, this question doesn't come up to to
Yeah.
your mind. And
Because
we
they
have to do
tell
the
you
same.
how, whether it's
Yes.
fictional or not, they tell you, oh, Hulk gamma radiation. It's like, oh, gamma. Okay.
Right, it's like, okay, I believe it. I believe it. So
Yeah.
there is an explanation, a logical explanation that becomes logical,
Yeah.
a superhuman explanation that becomes logical. And this is what we have to do with Visions of Atlantis. If we would just play our songs in a studio, with a white background, dressed up as normal people, regular people, or as metalheads, it wouldn't convey to the pirate universe that we are creating. It would make everything a bit more fake in a
Yeah.
way. But if we present ourselves as pirates, if we show our stories in the videos, and the videos support the stories that we are telling in the songs with the lyrics, and if we do the same on stage and we create this little theater, you have attended our show and you know how much
Yes.
theatrical we are. In a way, you buy what we are doing. You don't say, "Hey, this is a carnival band that just dresses up." You know, we are trustworthy, and our message can reach you. You can focus on what we are telling you because everything else you buy it.
Yeah. So cool. And yeah, I was going to ask you how you translate that to the stage, but you already kind of talked about that. But like when you're all on the stage, you all seem very much in character and having fun. How true is that? Is it putting on an act, or is the band really just kind of having fun being that personality on stage
Yeah,
every
yeah, no, no.
time?
We truly have fun. In the end, first of all, if you deeply think about it, music is a big game. It's, of course, it's serious, of course it's a job, of course it's demanding, of course you have a lot of duties, there is so much behind what you're doing on stage. But the moment in which you go on stage, just think of how you say it in English. You play music and you play games. You play music, so it's meant to be fun. This is what
Yeah.
music is about. It's about playing with each other. And if the inner child gets on stage and enjoys what he or she is doing, then everyone around you will be grasped by this beauty and by this beautiful and playful emotion and sensation, and we'll just jump on stage with you in a way. We'll take part of the show. You see what I mean? This is why I say
Yeah.
jump on stage. You will feel like you're part of it, and this is beautiful. And we truly do enjoy what we're doing. We truly enter our pirate characters. We truly feel like in that hour that we are on stage, we can forget about everything and just enjoy and have fun. This is Yeah, this is how it's supposed to be, if you ask me.
Awesome. Yeah, I think that translates to the crowd really well too, because if everyone on stage is clearly having fun, you're gonna have fun. It's like you see someone else having fun, it makes you feel joyous and yeah, I mean, it's just really cool as opposed to just standing on stage playing the music. It's like, oh, they're playing good, but
Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
not
There's
fun. Like, yeah.
and I also have to say that we are in 2024 now. Heavy metal is being played all over the world since
Yes.
55, 54 years right now. Like Metallica will do it better always and ever. Iron Maiden will do it better always and ever. If you don't bring something fresh, something unique, you
Yeah.
can't compete. You can't compete. Judas Priest, they are still there. They still rock the stage dressed up as metalheads. They are the ones that are allowed to stay on stage without doing anything else than what they're doing, because they started this. They founded this.
Right.
The reason why we are playing heavy metal right now is because of them. So thanks to them, actually, not because of them. So they can do whatever they want. We have to refresh it. Otherwise, we will never be as good as they are.
One thing I've always thought would be the coolest thing ever for Visions of Atlantis. And I don't know if there's ever any plans, but you need to talk to your booking agent or whoever. But if Visions of Atlantis headlined a show at the Atlantis Resort, like in the Bahamas, that would be the most amazing thing ever. You know of that resort, right?
I because people from the US told me about it. Yeah, so
Yes.
I went and scouted. Yeah, you're not the first telling us this, and yeah, I mean, it would be a dream come true. I think let's see if the universe takes us there, because if it's meant
Yeah.
to happen, it will happen in a way or
Yeah.
another.
That would be incredible. But yeah, so what's the future like for Visions of Atlantis? The way the band is now, it's solidified. This is what we can expect, and the future is bright.
Oh, it feels like it. It feels like we constantly feel in growth, and this is fantastic. The numbers for the European tour that we are up to start in almost a tiny bit more than a month. Yeah, a month and 5 days actually. It's getting close now. Um, these are the highest numbers that we've ever had, and
Wow.
it makes me feel proud. It makes me feel happy. It makes me feel like I have a responsibility on my shoulder, of course, but it's empowering. It's beautiful. We are so happy of how things are developing, and at the very end of the day, again, I don't want to feel overly proud or else, but it's thanks to what we're doing. It's our effort that is finally coming through. So we can feel happy of what of how things are right now.
Yeah.
And then we need to tour now. We've been working on this record for a long time. We stopped touring for a couple, like I think 4 or 5 months, which is something that normally doesn't happen with Visions of Atlantis.
Yeah.
And now we are going to be back on the road, and
Yeah.
yeah, we need to take the Armada tour to the United States and everywhere
Yes.
we can in the world, everywhere we can.
You're ready to go play now. You've worked and now it's time for play, right?
It's time to play. Yeah, exactly. Absolutely.
And my last question, it's a bit off topic, but being I'm a vegan myself, and I believe Clementine is a vegan as well. So
Correct.
has she gotten you guys to kind of try some vegan foods and things like that? Has she opened your mind to vegan eating at all in different countries and stuff? Which I'm so jealous that she posts pictures eating vegan food all over the world. I'm like, that's amazing.
So I have to say that we obviously we obviously embrace
Yeah.
this entire mindset,
Yeah.
and it's super interesting and super fascinating how much different foods you can discover, different dishes,
Yeah.
different flavors, because there is so much, and it's so good sometimes. Like there
Yeah.
are dishes that if you didn't tell me it's vegan, but you just presented me the plate as a as a meal, I wouldn't
Yeah.
even question, because they are so amazingly good.
Yeah.
I have to admit that on the road, respecting the full vegan mindset, it's really complicated,
I understand.
because it's out of your control,
Yeah.
so you can write it clearly in the rider. We need a real vegan meal, real vegan proteins,
Yeah.
which are seitan or tofu or lentils,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
there are so many sources of protein, but often, too often, promoters, they just bring some vegetables and some fresh cuts and
A
stuff like this,
salad. Yeah.
a salad, because this is the vegan option, and
Yeah.
you don't have the time to get off the venue, go somewhere. So we have to find ways.
Yeah.
Clemmy especially has to find ways, and we, not being vegan by
Yeah.
choice, sometimes I don't say it's impossible, because impossible is nothing, but it would be way more complicated and way too demanding to find vegan alternatives. So
Yeah.
on the road, it's really rare that we fully embrace veganism.
Yeah.
It's just really impossible. And Clemmy, sometimes she has to fight really hard, and the only solution sometimes is on her own. She gets some extra food compared to
Yeah.
what's in the catering, so she ends up
Wow.
spending, or we end up supporting, of course, as a band, her diet. So we have to purchase our own stuff. Sometimes fans are amazing and they offer us food, especially in the United
Cool.
States. This happens, and there is always a vegan option, and this is just fantastic. But being a vegan on the road, if you ask me, and this is kind of unacceptable, is really difficult, and it shouldn't
Wow.
be, because everyone's diet should be respected. I'm
Yeah.
we're not asking about eating only caviar and fish. It's not
Right.
it's not about that. It's having a vegan protein available at the catering, and not the fact that it's not possible. It sucks, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Cool. Well, yeah, it's something I've always been curious about. So yeah, thank you for that. And I can only imagine how difficult, but I, for one, am super excited about the future of Visions of Atlantis. It's incredible that y'all were able to follow up the magnificent Pirates with another magnificent album. I think it's only just boosted fans'
Thank you,
hopes.
man.
Like, hey, they're not stopping, So it's not a one-hit wonder. There's plenty more to come. So very awesome. And to everyone watching, I'm going to put all of Visions of Atlantis social medias, music videos, all that stuff in the description below. If you're not following them already, what's going on? But it's okay because you can follow them now. So follow them, check out their music if you haven't. Listen to the new album, Pirates 2 Armada. And yeah, it's a good time to be a Visions of Atlantis fan. So thank you all so much for tuning in. And thank you, Meek, so very much for taking the time to chat with me. I really had a blast. You rock.
You're more than welcome, and hopefully we will see each other again on the road.
Yes, I hope so. And so, yeah, thank you once again, folks, for tuning in. We catch you next time. Ranger out.